Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome you all here again back after the lunch break. I know usually it feels like sleeping after having a good lunch and a dessert, so I hope you had a coffee as well to wake up a bit. And I'm pretty sure that now Peter Alexanderson, a co-founder and CIO of Cover, will wake you up because he didn't want to say much about the safest and most advanced cybersecurity platform in the world in the panel before lunch, but he'll tell it now, as well as he'll be speaking about the insights from the digital mature Swedish market and trends in digital identification. So Peter, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Yep, hope you had a good lunch and took some coffee as well. So imagine a world where you can send money freely and you will 100% know that the money will go to the right person, and also letting you know that no one is using your credit card. You can instant check if someone is touching your credit card and you can stop it. So that's a little bit what we're going to talk about. And we're going to talk about ID solution. We're going to talk about authentication, which the Cover is, the Cover security company. So I'm Peter Alexanderson from Cover Security. I'm also going to touch a little bit about how the Swedish market is running the technology right now, and I think it's pretty advanced. Companies is picking up, of course, but I think we are in the forefront when it comes to security and how we use digital IDs. Touch a little bit about also on what I think about the future, basically. But we start up with the solution I have. Yes. Oh, you change. So, 2 weeks ago, someone took money from my credit card. That happens all the time. I know everyone heard about it. So someone was driving some type of scooter in Milano. At the same time, someone was using my credit card in Paris for sharing taxis, and someone was buying shoes in England. So maybe the same person, I'm not sure, but that happened in a period of 2 weeks, and I rarely use that credit card, but I got the money back at least. So I'm going to show a little bit about how a two-factor solution could work like. So you enter a username, or not, we can also use a QR code, and it pops up in the phone. You have a pending request, and you use Touch ID or fingerprint, and you accept it, and it goes through. And what we're going to showcase now is we're going to send money from the bank. This could also be triggered from the phone. And at the same time, before it happens, you read it, accept it. So it's very, very simple. Basically, if you can read, you can use the software. And we're going to go through a little bit about features and benefits on the application. So how does it work? So if a person wants to do a login to the bank, we always do a check with the user of that account. Is it really you that want to do the login? And you can use a fingerprint, 6-digit code, face recognition, or anything like that. We're going to talk about onboarding maybe a little bit later. So whatever that will come up, if that would be gesture technique, we can use that as well. So it's about to know that the right user is using the right service. And we guarantee that. So in this case, we don't need artificial intelligence because we're 100% sure every time. Another good thing is that we know that the user is using the right service, so he's not phished. In the case where we sell this to a bank, by knowing the ID, the digital ID of a person, when that is established and the bank say yes, and we lock that user to that application, you can do a lot of different things with that digital ID. Login is obvious. Credit cards, very obvious as well. But you can use it for so many other things. Verify the transaction, company identifications. And one thing we're going to talk a little bit about later is the Swedish one just have one digital ID. We can use company ID and national ID in the same application. There is a reason for that. So when you use this like a KYC platform and banks jointly go together, suddenly you have a KYC platform and you can sell ID and logins to other entities. We do that in Sweden already. So one ID can reach 750 web pages without any type of registration. Just as a Swede, you know your birth date. You can log into all the sites. This is something we can do as well. This could be a government coming from the government or the banks. I think it's very uncommon that it comes from the banks, but normally it's from the government. So we do protect the credit card, and we are in the hub of the bank. So all the banks we connect to, and if they want to protect the credit card instead of 3D Secure, so it doesn't matter if you do this here, like in a shop, or ATM machine, or on e-commerce. Everywhere, basically, you're using your credit card. It will go to the owner of the credit card, ask you, are you really doing this purchase? Yes or no? Yep, I don't like to talk about myself, but someone had to come up with the idea to do this bank ID that we have in Sweden. Is today used by 98% of the population, and happened to be me that made it true. It started up with a bank association. All the banks went together. They put in all IDs in one place, and the KYC was created. And like I said before, 750 pages are using this. So it doesn't matter if this is a tax office, that could be insurance company, you can still use it just by knowing your birth date, basically. So are we pushing this too far? Maybe. Banks, they don't accept cash anymore. And 2026, we don't accept cash at all. And this the loo here. I went to a public toilet and I had to use my national ID to enter the door. Maybe we're pushing a little bit too far, and I'm not sure, but so it is. So we don't use cash a lot. We have a lot of regulators, GDPR coming, PSD2, strong customer authentication. This is something we all need to think about. We help companies to be GDPR compliant because we don't save any data. So this is my personal prediction. I think banks will remain. I would not like to have IT company taking care of my money. I think it will be a quicker payments between the banks, cross-border payments, very fast as well. I do believe in global ID, and maybe not this century, but it will come. Currencies will also be merged together like we see in Europe. I think more countries will do the same. I hope password will disappear for once. Even the registration, that comes like a bonus or benefit when you already have your digital ID. Then the site know who you are. So this is a little bit what I think about. I tried a little bit with face recognition, and I said, when I downloaded this, all this information came up. Age 54, yes, I'm 54. Attractive? No, maybe not. And all this information is just in a blink of a second. I also seen software with the face recognition there where you can see your heartbeat. And then missed it with 2 heartbeats per minute. Very accurate. This is our company. So we have a Greyhound company, older people. We are not so millennial like many other companies. We have offices in Stockholm, Sweden, Frankfurt, Dubai, and also in USA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter, for the presentation. I like the statistics there. And that's what comes out every time somebody uses its electric ID. Somewhere that statistics with the numbers, attractive or not, will come out.
Yeah. So everyone, 98% is using this. So for me personally, I use it 5 to 10 times a day.
Great. Okay, that's something we can learn here, definitely. So is there any question?